Everyone.
Good morning.
Good to see you all in-house and out there. And I'm really happy to welcome you to Centers for Spiritual Living Minneapolis. My name is Celeste, and I'll be your practitioner and guide for the day. And let's start off with what guides us here at this center. And it's our mission and our statement of truth. So indulge me while I read that. Our truth: there is a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we can consciously use it. And our mission is to teach, demonstrate, and inspire a positive spiritual approach to living. So, as we get ready to get going, now's a good time to set your phone on silent or turn it off. And let's get everything going with our music for today, provided by David.
Not touched it one way or another. The light is green.
There we go.
It's really hot. Check 1, 2. It's still really hot. That's just my hand. Check 1, 2. Yeah, that's still really hot. Check 1, 2. Yeah, I can't get too friendly with it. No, we're getting there. No. It's everything. Oh, that's okay. Let's try that again, shall we?
Yes.
I now bought into those old stories, the monsters and demons in the night, the rocks of ages, the wings of glory, or angels conjured up in flight. But I've seen movement in the shadows, and I've had nightmares in my sleep. Oh, I've made wrinkled piles of bedclothes as phantoms fought my slumber deep. My friend experience has taught me, no matter what I'm going through, there'll always be a new day dawns on the horizon. New day dawns into a kingdom. New day dawns over the valley, carrying on its wings the hope and the faith and the promise of a new day. I watch those weeds come up in springtime. Those seeds were planted long ago. Well, not so much planted, they were wind blown. But heartless trade winds of sorrow, I pull them right up by the roots now. Oh, whenever they appear, but they return each time my head turns to catch my own oncoming fear. By now I've lived through countless summers, so I know just what I will do. I'll wait until the new day dawns on the horizon. New day dawns into the kingdom. New day dawns all through the valley, carrying on its wings the hope and the faith and the promise of a new day. Night falls, heartaches, light returns, day breaks. I watch those angels, winged dancers, flailing on the heads of pins, which brings more questions than answers, thrust into the cosmic dim. But here at home I'm finding solace, and maybe just a hint of grace, allowed to sip from the golden chalice. Each time I gaze upon your face, but I'll need habitual reminders, so I know just which way to go. I'll turn and face a new day dawns on the horizon. New day dawns into the kingdom. New day dawns all through the valley, carrying on its wings the hope and the faith and the promise of a new day.
Thank you, David, for getting us started. And now I'd like to get us for the reason we're here today. And to do that, I'd like you to take that deep breath just like I did. Boy, did that feel so good. And let it all shake off. Whatever's going on inside, whatever's going on in the world, it's important, but we set it aside now. We set it aside and drop deep within where we already know the truth. God is all there is. How good it is to know that God is all there is. How good it is to know that that divine idea is omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. All-knowing, all-powerful, and everywhere. And I know that that divine idea created everything. It follows then that if it created everything, it created me, and it created each and every one of you. How good it is to know that that divine idea moves through us, as us always. Today in particular, I know that divine idea to be love, to be peace, to be grace. And as we gather today, we rest in the knowing of its authenticity, moving and having its being through us, as us. So it is from this deep place of knowing that I recognize the blessing of our time together today. Bless the hands that set this space up and made its universe. I recognize the blessing of the practitioners that hold us in high watch at all times. I recognize the blessing of our ministry, Reverend Debbie, Reverend Joanne. Shows up and says yes to walk with us. I know this day unfolds perfectly. It is already an absolute success in the divine mind, therefore it must be a success outpictured in our experience now. So I say thank you, God. And I let this little prayer be. And I say, and so it is. Okay. Woo. Happy Father's Day. Happy Sunday. Now that I've settled us in, it's time for us to anchor in that divine idea together as a community. So I invite you to open your programs because we don't have a screen. And does anybody need a program? We can take a second. Oh, we're good. There we go. All right. So with another deep breath, I invite you to join me and say, I am ready to deepen my conviction in the power and presence for good. I am ready to apply it in my daily life. I am ready to receive God's highest blessings. I am ready to live from a higher level of beingness. I am ready to be a transformative light in the world. Thank you. All right, I would now like to ask Pete to come up and join me. This center is based on the knowledge that there is one great universal presence. And we acknowledge that there are multiple names and paths to this one which unifies us, not divides us. Please join me as we honor the unifying nature of spiritual thought and experiences as we light the flames of faith, acknowledging all people and all faiths with representation of a few of the more traditional paths. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as a path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. And now I invite you to take a moment and acknowledge the flame within, that fire within, as Ernest Holmes calls it. Honoring the oneness and mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. All right. And now I would like to invite Brent to join us for a special reading.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I was asked sometime back if I if I expressed myself creatively in any ways, and I have in recent years been kind of exploring that creative side of myself. One most recently I've been doing some painting, which I'd like to share with you sometime when I finish one. In the meantime, this is a poem that I wrote a few years back. The theme was on hope. Actually, I think it gels quite well with the first song we heard earlier. That was just absolutely beautiful. So here we go. Hope. When you're walking down the dark tunnel, feels like the walls are closing in. You can't breathe, your heart races, panic sets in. Just when you think you can't go farther and your legs don't want to budge, you crawl on hands and knees, utter a quiet prayer for help from above. It's then that you see a light up ahead, just a dot, yet it grows. Feel a tickle on your cheek, the smallest movement of air, yet courage it sows. That's hope. Security in the moment, a lightness of the heart, optimism for tomorrow, a belief in new starts. That's hope. The world seems an awful place. War, theft, battery, and rape. Smog in the air, lead in the water, graffiti words of hate. You snarl at the evening news, another politician's lies. A school closed down, a house up in smoke, 2 children died. Turn off the TV, head to the diner and eat. Stomach's full, but wallet's empty. The owner says, no worries, this one's on me. That's hope. Security in the moment, a lightness of the heart, optimism for tomorrow, a belief in new starts. That's hope. It's the end of a very bad day. Overslept, we're late for work. Missed a deadline, got a paper cut. The boss was a total jerk. Some punk keyed your car, the back tire was flat. Jack was missing, the spare's a joke. The wind snatched your favorite hat. But he got home to a hot meal, saw your children's darling eyes, a long hot soak, a good night's sleep, wake up to a sparkling sunrise. That's hope. Security in the moment, a lightness of the heart, optimism for tomorrow, a belief in new starts. That's hope. You've traveled a bumpy road, chaotic and unplanned. Hurt, fear, disgust, greed, power, and lust had you trapped like quicksand. Facing 10 years in prison, feeling lower than low. Shame, guilt, despair, how you make it, you just don't know. While sitting alone in the yard, a guide pulls down next to you. He says, what's up? I'm listening. Nervous, you share your story. Yo, man, I've been there too. That's hope. Security in the moment, a lightness of the heart, optimism for tomorrow, a belief in new starts. That's hope. That's hope.
Didn't tell me I'd need a Kleenex. All right, for our reading for today, I'd like to invite Joan to the stage. And thank you again, Brent, for sharing. Appreciate it.
It was a wonderful time. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
The reading is called, can you hear me? A Father's Quiet Power, an excerpt from the blog As Simple as That by Rebecca Cooper. There's something deeply sacred about the kind of love that doesn't always speak but shows up. It's in the early mornings, heading to work with sleepy eyes but a steady heart. It's in the strong hands that fix what's broken, not just around the house, but sometimes in us. It's in the way he listens, even when the words are few, and answers even when the questions are unspoken. A father's love often isn't loud. It's quiet and constant, like gravity. It's what teaches us how to stand up again after falling, how to give generously without expecting anything in return, how to keep going even when things get tough. Today we honor the fathers, grandfathers, stepdads, uncles, mentors, and all the men who show up, not for praise, but because they love. And we remember that this kind of love, the steady, quiet kind, changes the world in ways we may never fully know.
And now, another song from David.
I've debated long and hard this week
About what song to sing at this point. The song I chose is a song I've always wanted to sing in public, never have. I chose it several days ago. Let's just say I stand by my decision.
Sunset is an angel weeping, holding out a bloody sword. No matter how I squint, I cannot make out what it's pointing toward. Sometimes you feel like you've lived too long. Days drip slowly on the page. And you catch yourself pacing the cage. I've proven who I am so many times. The magnetic strip's worn thin, and each time I was someone else, and everyone was taken in. Powers chatter in high places, stir up eddies in the dust of rage. Sent me to peace in the cage. I never knew what you all wanted, so I gave you everything. All that I could pillage, all the spells that I could sing. It's as if the thing were written in the constitution of the age. Sooner or later, you'll wind up pacing the cage. Sometimes the best map will not guide you. You can't see what's round the bend. Sometimes the road leads through dark places. Sometimes the darkness is your friend. Today these eyes scan bleached out land for the calling of the outbound stage. Pacing the cage. Pacing the cage.
Thank you, David. And now please welcome Reverend David.
today's talk is called Get Real. So I can't really talk about getting real until I kind of address sort of what's going on in the world, right? Because let's face it, there's a lot happening, right? There's a lot of fear and anxiety and division, hate and violence, like at a whole new level. I mean, a whole new level. And this teaching does not pretend that these conditions don't exist, that this feeling, these emotions, this stuff that's going on, we don't pretend like it's not real. Because a whole new level. And this teaching, however, this teaching does not pretend us to these conditions don't exist at all times, that these feelings, these emotions, this stuff that's going on. This teaching requires us to remember that we are powerful and that thought is still creative, that the law of cause and effect has not left the house. It hasn't. That the law of cause and effect works. Our thoughts are creative. Our words are powerful, and our emotions are to be honored. This teaching requires us to remember that love always has the final word. And that as independent individuals, we don't need to buy into crazy and fear. We don't need to do that. We can acknowledge it, but we don't need to focus on what's not working and what is wrong. We still have the ability to visualize a world that works. We still have the ability to affirm our truth and to stay in gratitude. Because you can't be in fear and in gratitude at the same time. So, Ernest Holmes, our founder, wrote, "In time of confusion and unrest, the answer lies not in fear or resistance, but in our ability to know the truth, that love is the greatest healing power in the universe." Love is what we are by divine nature. So I invite all of us just to stay awake and aware and recognize our power, our individualized power to choose to focus on what is working and bless what is not. Ernest Holmes wrote a prayer for our country. I've printed off some copies. They're on the information table. It's short, it's sweet, and I invite you to take one home because, yeah, creative thought is completely and totally present in this moment. And now, let's get to the theme for the day, shall we? A man was filling out a personality test online, and the test asked, "Who are you? Who are you really?" And he just paused for a second. And he's like, "Well," he starts typing, "it depends on who's asking, what time of the day it is, and whether I've had my coffee or not." So true, isn't it? We play so many roles. We wear so many different hats. All of us do. And sometimes we tend to lose sight of our essence underneath all of that. It is that essence of ours, our unique expression of that one divided. It is that one that is always unchanging and always available and always full of love. And so today, I ask you authentically, who are you? Who really are you? And that's an important question because when we live from our authentic self, when we allow our real selves to suit up and to show up, I believe spirit is like, yes, let's go play. You know? We get to listen more. We don't have to worry about if we're looking right, if we're saying the right things, if we're doing the right things. When we're following our heart and we're being our real selves, then we are truly that healing presence in the world. And this just isn't some self-help pep talk. Really, it's not. It's the truth. It's about when we get real with ourselves, what we're really thinking, what we're really feeling, right? Who we really are, and we stop judging it and labeling it, and we just accept it and love it. There's such power in that. When we let go of the illusion, the denial, the different masks that we wear, when we let go of that and just show up, we're in the flow. I think we cut ourselves off from the flow when we start being too concerned, right? About out there. When we get real, we can experience more peace. We can develop a deeper connection with others because we don't have to be talking all the time, right? We can just sit and be quiet and listen. I mean, what a gift is that? We can allow our own healing to take root and share that healing experience, that healing energy with others. And I believe when we become authentic, clarity shows up. There's a natural compassion that we have not only for ourselves, which has to happen first, before we can give that compassion out. Spiritual clarity somehow makes its way. The more real we are, the more we can be a healing presence for ourselves and for others. So today, I want to explore 4 stages of evolution in a way you might not have heard of before. There's a Reverend Sharma gave a class on these, and they really hit home for me, because these stages are very fluid, right? We are in different stages of our evolution, depending on different phases in our life or even different situations that we're in. So I invite you, as we go through these, to think, okay, this is where I'm at in my life as it relates to, I don't know, a job, a relationship, a health, a whatever, pick something. Is this where I'm at in that stage? And there's 4 of them. And I'm going to start with the first one, which is the mortal stage. So this is the starting point for most of us, right? Most of us came into this teaching, we came into a spiritual path, right? How many came into this teaching and spiritual path because life is just so fantastic, right? Yeah, I got to put my hand down for that. Yeah, no, in that mortal stage, we're struggling. We're struggling. We feel powerless and small and misunderstood. We feel like nobody's hearing us. We're victims. It's like the world is happening to us. Anybody ever feel that way? Anybody have a point in their life, a situation in their life right now where you feel that way? Ernest Holmes reminds us, we must heal ourselves of the idea that we are bound by anything outside of our own thought, which takes us back to remembering how powerful we are. We've all been in that place of struggle and quiet desperation, and I think most of us still have those areas in our life where it's like, why me? And that is why community, I believe, is so important. You know, community cannot be the importance of community cannot be overstated at that stage. That's why Brent's poem was so wonderful today. You know, when you are part of a community, you're no longer isolated, right? We come into this gathering knowing that we are loved and respected, that we are heard, that we are not alone on this path, and we're not the only ones who have a place of struggle. We come into a gathering, a spiritual gathering like this, just knowing who and whose we are and allowing everyone to remind us of that. Again, this is not a place and this is not a teaching where we pretend. It's where we get real and we allow that vulnerable part to kind of peek through. Because everyone here has been there, has done that, and is ready to share, ready to participate. So how do we get honest with ourselves? Well, we start by creating a space to get quiet. We start by being willing to be in our own company. And then we participate in community. And we ask some questions of ourselves, like, what am I avoiding? What do I pretend around? Where am I not being me? Here's a good one. Where am I blaming others instead of taking responsibility? Because when we're at that mortal stage, we do that. We do anything to avoid responsibility. But as we start participating in community, as we start taking up a spiritual practice, as we start reading daily of our truth, as we start embodying that, we gently can uncover the truth that's right below the noise. It's just right below the noise. It's never left us. We may feel mortal. Oh, we have superpowers. And we all know that. Which takes us to that next phase, which is the metaphysician. And this is the exciting stage, right? This is where we realize that we can co-create our life with spirit. And it's fun. It's fun because we know cause and effect. We know the law of attraction, right? We've watched the movie The Secret, right? We've got it. We are creating parking spaces left and right? We're getting clear on who and whose we are. And we get to that place where what we think about and what we're grateful about is what is ours right here and right now. And there's no stopping us, right? Everybody got a place in their life where they're like on fire, in the flow. It's all going. And I start to think that maybe I'm in control. No. Nope, not in control. There's a story of a woman, she's starting up for her morning jog and she's like stretching against a tree. You know, stretching out, making sure she's all limber, and this guy walks by and he's like, honey, it would be much better if you just used a saw. Right? And that's what being a metaphysician is kind of like, you know? We're just like, we've got it. We've got this whole thing wired. When in reality, we don't have it wired because we're not in control. We're never in control because everything changes, right? And all of those things that we're manifesting, if we're not really ready to own it, it goes away. That's what happens. Because now we're trying to control things through our prayer, through our cause and effect stuff. But we're losing sight of a few things. We're losing sight of our spiritual integrity because we're no longer coming from a place of reverence, a place of openness, a place of willingness. I'm willing to be willing. when we're manifesting that life of our dreams, we are not willing to be willing. We are, right? But we are so much more than just our mental efforts. We've got a whole toolbox of who we really are, which takes us to that place of being a mystic, that place in your life where there is reverence, where there's a sense of joy, a sense of willingness to surrender the control, to listen, to seek guidance. Ernest Holmes, the mystic is one who senses the divine power. The mystic, that's when we're in a place in our life where we just want to sit and breathe and watch the clouds, right? And yes, we're in action, but we're comfortable in our own skin. We don't need to prove anything. We don't need to demonstrate anything. We can just be. We're less reactive and we're more responsive. We feel this inner peace even though we know that there's that chaos happening in other areas of our life, of our world, right? But right here and right now, I've got everything I need and I'm okay. And we start to see things that are sacred around us, like the clouds, like each other. And we start to view it from that place of sacredness. And we feel, remember a time or an area in your life where you are in the flow? It's like, it's all good. It doesn't appear that way sometimes, but I feel it. I feel the goodness. A mystic, that's the part of you that suits up and shows up for meditation and doesn't want to leave it. It's the part of you that instead of reaching for the phone to text someone about how terrible things are, you reach for a book that reminds you how powerful and wonderful and loving you are. That mystic part of us is always around. We just have to sometimes reframe ourselves to get there. We have to be willing to let go of not only the control, but the need to fix. And just be open in the goodness. And the final stage is the master, and that's the one who is grounded, recognizes how empowered one is. Joel Goldsmith, do not pray to God for things, pray to know God, and all things will simply appear. We all have areas where we're the master. We can just be the grounded one, open and willing, and no rose-colored glasses required kind of life. That little area, that little pocket of peace. We're no longer striving or pushing or pulling or doing any of that. We're just like sitting. We're just being willing to be willing and open to be open. And we are attracting to us all of these wonderful individuals that we get to support. We just get to love. That we just get them to be able to show up and be who they are without having to worry about it. That's when we've got some master going on. It's kind of like a life is like a living prayer, and I think some days we can do that. Some days, yeah, not so much so. But the good news is that we're on this spiritual path and we're doing it together. And on days where we can't do it alone, there's always someone or something that is there to help and support. So as I said, we're not permanently in one stage. We're not moving from one to the other to the other. It's not a ladder. It's sort of like this life tapestry. And we get to play in each of these stages at different places in our lives, in different areas of our life. And they're not to be judged. There is some incredible value and merit in each and every stage. But it's about being able to sort of dance with it. To be able to dance with it. And to be able to love ourselves no matter what stage we're in, no matter what we're feeling. It's about being able to truly be ourselves without a judgment. Without a judgment. Now maybe you're not willing to share that with the whole world. Maybe there is a couple of people that are close that you can share it with. Maybe there aren't. There are practitioners in this center that already know our truth for us at that level of being in the flow of good. Being in that flow of good. When we get real about where we are, we no longer have to feel separated and stuck. When we apply our spiritual tools with intention, we can be empowered and awaken to that idea of choice. Choice, it's so important. When we surrender and listen to that inner guide, we become a more trusting individual. We become a more healing presence for everyone around us. And when we choose to be love in action, when we choose to be awakened and whole and just being ourselves around others, when we choose to do that, there's nothing better. Every stage is sacred, every stage offers us wisdom, and it all requires us to be real. That's sort of the message. We need to be real. It's not about pretending. It's not about hiding in the sand. It's about remembering how powerful, how loving, and how uniquely incredible each and every one of us is all of the time, whether we're feeling it or not. This week, I invite all of us to sit up and show up as our whole self, to remember our truth, to stand out there, take up too much of what's in here, because it can. And if it does, it's by our own choice. Declare this with me. I am the light.
I am the light.
I act from love.
I act from love.
I am divine expression.
I am divine expression.
That is our truth, you guys. And as we move to that, as we declare that daily, as we allow that to sink in, then life becomes so sweet. And all of that, as Goldsmith says, just sort of works itself out. That's the truth. So it is. Namaste.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Reverend Debbie. That's a great message today. Now is the time where we ask ourselves, do I feel spiritually fed? Do I feel full, knowing that there's enough? And if you do, I invite you to consider sharing that good with us, where you've just been spiritually fed. This center gives as much as it receives. And yeah, it's an important part of this philosophy to know that there's enough. And I can't stress that enough, because when you know that there's enough, almost everything else falls away, right? So let me send out a little prayer and take whatever gift you have. Some of us give online, so I'm just going to put my hand over my heart and know that this is good. When I used to write checks for utilities and stuff, in the memo section, it's a bill, but I still write love in action, right? So I guess that's what I'm struggling to talk about right now. Share with us some love in action, right? Now I'm going to say this little prayer. I love this prayer. I got it. I stole it from a center that I used to serve. Close your eyes and listen. This gift I give is God in action. I send it forth with joy, confidence, and ease. I am blessed by the law of giving and receiving, as I now share my good with life. Press down, shaken together, and run over. And so it is. Now, thank you for the gifts. And thank you for being here. Got a few announcements for us right now. And I just wanted to highlight that prayer for the country. It looks like this. It's on the table back there. There's not that many of them, but I invite you to take your phones out, take a picture of the darn thing, and share it with as many people as you can.
We're going to post it on the website.
Oh, and we're going to post it on the website. Other announcements we have are... Okay, the book study continues. We are reading Ernest Holmes' Living Without Fear. It's right here. Living Without Fear. This is every Thursday evening at 7 o'clock via Zoom. If you would like to join us, please send us an email at info@cslminneapolis.org, and we can give you the link to the Zoom and also give you an update as to where we are in the book, because it's not a book club. It's a book study. We're diving into this stuff. And if you've ever read anything by Ernest Holmes, you know you can't help but dive into it, because one sentence can be like a world of information. So I hope you'll join us with that. Like I said, send us an email, info@cslminneapolis.org. This Saturday, Victoria and James will be playing, I believe it's a jazz festival at the St. Paul Farmers Market. And I've also been told we have this information on our website in the calendar section, correct? Check that out if you'd like to see Victoria at a jazz festival. And while you're in St. Paul, we have some really talented people in our community. Anthony, who's not here today, he's traveling, is doing a series of exhibits at various locations in downtown St. Paul. We don't have those on our website, but we'll be getting them to you. His name is Anthony Eaton, so if you want to Google him, something will come up about it. But it's going to go through this month, various artists, various locations. And we also have our very own Alicia in the audience here. You want to come up and say a word about your work?
Sure. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, so my display runs through June 30th. Some of you have already gone, but I did switch it out. So there is, it is sponsored by Wells Fargo Place, but it is my attempt at being somewhat political in a very tumultuous time. So it's, yeah, like I said, in Wells Fargo Place, you can access it through the Skyway. Probably the best way to get there is to park at the World Trade Center parking ramp downtown, and then you can enter, and it's in that rotunda right near the Wells Fargo Place. That's up, like I said, through June 30th.
Yay.
Okay. Very good. Anything else?
Yes.
Missing?
One more.
One more. Hey, Jeff, come and tell us something.
This just came across to me today, and I don't know if you've heard about the Affiliated New Thought Network, a group of individuals from Unity and from here and everywhere with the idea of it. And there's a membership that you can have with it. However, today they are having a group thing for anybody that would like to do it. It's based on the times you have going on right now. It's called You're Not Alone Gathering. And it'll be a group of people talking about it. They're not trying to fix things. They're just trying to facilitate discussions and see how people are feeling with it. It is tonight at 4 p.m. Pacific, so that'd be 6 here. And it's the Affiliated New Thought Network. If you look that up, you'll get to their site and be able to log on for the Zoom. It's just something that's out there if you would like to, based on all the craziness going on at this point in time. So just thought I'd mention that.
Can we post that on our site too?
I will try to. Actually, I'll put it on our Facebook page.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
I like this old weed thing we always have here. And David's schedule?
David, do you have some upcoming events?
No.
Well, aren't we blessed that we got to have you?
Taking the summer off, working on some recordings.
Oh, right on.
I added up about a month ago how many days I was gone from home last year, and it was way too many.
Right on. Well, we look forward to updates on your creativity. Right on, right on. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I'm in control. I didn't want to skip past something really important. I asked for your gifts. Well, we have a gift for you. And that is not only this community, but access to people that have taken some extra classes to be able to sit down with each of you in these interesting times, good or bad. No, it's funny. You can still ask for prayer when things are good, right? And God knows you can ask for prayer when things are bad. Well, how about we ask for prayer just for everyday life, right? So I invite you to check in with one of us here after service, Reverend Joanne, Reverend Debbie, Reverend Jeff is in the back, myself. Am I missing anybody? We all consider it an honor to sit across from you and help you remember who you really are. So please take advantage of that. If you don't want to sit with us after service, you can fill out a prayer request and we'll get the prayer team working on it. You can also go to our website at cslminneapolis.org and put in a request online. It's what we do. Because when you remember who you really are and you know that you are loved and whose you are, it follows that you want to share that experience with another. It follows that you want to reach out and know that the one in front of you enjoys that same comfort, that same peace, and that same little nudge of remembering who you really are. So I hope you'll take advantage of that. And it is an honor to show up for you in that way. So, all right. Birthdays. Today we are celebrating birthdays. I know John's got one coming up. Is there anybody else that's got a birthday coming up, or in June in general? Happy heavenly birthday to my mother.
Somebody over there?
Oh, right on. Julie, you got a birthday coming up?
No, I have my mom's birthday.
Oh, right. Okay.
He
Yeah. See.
has his dad's birthday.
Right on. Okay. So we're gonna celebrate life. We're also gonna celebrate Father's Day. So the cake is doing dual purpose. So to all the fathers out there, bless you and how you show up in the world. All right. Anything else? All right. I am gonna give us a treatment. Reverend Joanne is gonna bless the heck out of us, and then Jane's gonna sing us out. So, and then join us for coffee and cake. And thank you again for showing up. You know that's 99% of it, right? Showing up.
Mhm.
Well, all right. Let me close this out. That felt good. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. The biggest thing I teach now is how quickly can you remember who you really are? How quickly can you remember that you come from that one light, that one power, that one presence that's everywhere present? How quickly can you remember that that divine idea is you as you always? There is no separation. How could there be? God is in the midst of me, nearer than hands and feet, closer than breath. So it's in this deep knowing of my connection to that divine idea that I know that no matter how it appears, life unfolds perfectly. That each of us are divinely guided and divinely inspired and will know what to do and when to do it. And I invite us to lean into the message of today, recognizing the places where we struggle in that mortal space. Be that metaphysician, discovering how powerful you truly are. Step into the mysticism, adding that reverence, that sacredness to every action, every breath, every thought, every word. And then be the master. Be the beingness of that divine idea that's omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. Everywhere present. This is the truth I know for each of us. That we are powerful. That we are compassion. We are above all love. Because didn't we just hear today that love is all there is? That no other emotion can occupy space in your heart and mind when you are in love? Remember, it's your job to keep yourself awake. It's God's job to wake everybody else up. Stay awake with me. I give thanks for this truth. I give thanks for this powerful word that I have just dropped into the universe to be made manifest. All I need to know is say thank you. And let it go to that divine idea and let it do the heavy lifting. God says yes to us. So let's let it be and say, and so it is.
So it is.
And I'll leave you with this blessing. May you be at peace.
May you know the beauty of your own true nature. May your heart be open. May you be healed. May you be blessed. Namaste.
So this is my second time in joining you. And each time I have gone into the Sunday with great trepidation. But the songs that I've
Songs you
chosen
can't sing in church.
are wholly inappropriate. And twice now, totaling 6 songs, I have sat here and heard various speakers paraphrase the exact lyrics I'm either about to sing or have sung. Thus, as was just mentioned, showing up is 99% of life. The song is called Here I Am. No. This is, I forgot to mention the previous song is by an artist named Bruce Coburn. It's a favorite of mine and seems to be very much in sync with what goes on here. This is a song by another very favorite songwriter of mine by the name of Mary Chapin Carpenter, who, by the way, is still active. She has a new album out just this past week.
Love her.
Yeah, and in her later years, after she went through all that fame and whatnot in the 90s, she's put out some really, really introspective, really deep, wonderful music. And this is another song that I just really, really wanted to do today. I didn't really know why, and just a couple of days ago, it came to me why. I think this song, like so many pop songs, are written towards a lover, either past, present, future, whatever. This is probably one of those, although I also suspect it could have been an absent parent, an emotionally absent parent. But what came to me is, I think the reason I want to do this is listen to this from the standpoint of the singer/writer who's talking to themselves and saying, here I am.
Wait longer for lesser things. Here I am. Who really knows what tomorrow brings? Here I am. Just in case you were wondering, just in case you got lost again, just in case you run out of friends. Here I am. It's so easy to rip and to tear, so here I am. What you need the most disappears into thin air, so here I am. Maps and compasses may stay true. It doesn't really matter what you do. I have never forgotten you. Here I am. Some days our reach is bound to fall. It's seed on grass. I gave up hoping long ago I could fix the past. Here I am. Today I called you for the very first time. million years. You would never know if I told you so about his million tears. Life doesn't wait as it's speeding by. Better grab on fast and hold on tight, and don't ever forget to fight this good fight. Here I am. Thank you.